Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Besties, I have good news and I have bad news. What do you want first? The good news. Well, Kelly Strawberry Shortcake, Little Kim, has finally opened up her second location. Her restaurant is open and ready for business. She said it would be open around spring or summer, and it is summer. So kudos to you, Kelly. Now let's get into the bad news. Kenya went live on her YouTube channel on Saturday and she announced that she is officially fired. The twirl has twirled out of the building. And it's understandable, but besties, do you believe her? Like, do you believe her, or is this just like clickbait? You can't be too sure. But there is a lawsuit. But is there a lawsuit? Have we heard anything about this $20 million lawsuit that Britt Eady allegedly has against the network? Well, if so, of course it has to do with Kenya, and I can see them terminating her her employment. The season is over. They paid her, until the end of the season. I don't know if she got paid for reunions. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not, because who knows? I don't know. It's just her timing is off. Like, why are you throwing strays before this season is officially over? Like, can you be quiet? Could she have done this tomorrow? Monday after the part three? So she also lets us know, child, get ready for this. Clutch your pearls, besties. She is being replaced. Child, they getting ready to bring in R&B and country singer K. Michelle, formerly castmate of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Woo! And her husband, he was her boyfriend then. They were on marriage boot camp also. And child, she was a whole entire fool on that show. I can't believe they got married, but they've been married since 2022. Child. Well, at least she is a housewife. Well, she's married. Then the second new housewife, the new peach holder, will be Pinky Cole. She's the owner of Slutty Vegan. It's a popular vegan restaurant out of Atlanta, and I know she has a few locations. Um, they say her food truck keeps getting stolen. They want to know who keeps stealing it. But she is married also. I follow her on Instagram. So at least we do have two married couples. And let me see, you guys. I got some screenshots. I come with my receipts. Let me see. Porsha. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute, in a second. Let me get to another something. Um, so one of K. Michelle's fans says that she is a businesswoman and newly married. She is the first African American to have a partnership with Jack Daniels. New country album on the way, and new whiskey/gin that she's been working on for years. Uh-huh. And she's married to her boyfriend. He was a dentist. He's a doctor, as in dentist. Okay, so here go one of Pinky's friends. She said, millionaire, yes. Humble, always, because money is made, but money doesn't make her 100%. Pinky Cole is the realest, the coolest, and the sweetest vibe I know. A true real housewife of Atlanta, but even more than that, she's dynamic, beautiful, positive, powerful, and grounded in everything she does. Before the restaurants and entrepreneurship, she's first a child of God, an amazing wife, a loving mommy, a devoted daughter, a caring sibling, a loyal friend and family member, and a sensational Sora of the Deltas. Pinky is a goat in every sense of the word. Whatever she does, wherever she goes, we've got her back always. Ooh, that means y'all better leave her alone. That is Atlanta's own, honey. Some people are afraid and think that maybe her business is going down under and she's doing this for the money, but we'll see. What else? The Braxtons season 2 premieres this October. So look for me to review that in October. Okay, let's see. Let's get into it, y'all. It is finally over. Sweet 16 has wrapped. It has been fun. It has been different. It has been something else. Some things has never happened before happened in season 16. And man, it has just been, it's over. I get my Sundays back. I am so excited about that. I can go to bed at a decent hour on Sundays. The only thing about creating content for me is that the show comes on at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So by the time I'm getting ready to start watching the show to write my notes, all the people like the other content creators, they're already posting videos because they're on the East Coast, down South, Midwest. They got a hands on me. So here I come at in the middle of the night with my review, but hey, we gonna keep it pushing. Yes, we are. Welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now let's kiki and ha and get into the final episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 20, reunion part 3. It is a wrap, y'all. How about you rate this week's episode? Like I said, I will say it again. You know I am not a reunion girl. Sometimes I don't even watch the reunion. They be boring to me. So this was nice. It was good. Like I said, last week was hard to watch. And what I'm realizing since I've been reviewing and recapping shows, the second part seems to be the roughest, the weakest link out of all 3 parts. Besties, we don't have to rate it because it's over. It was good. That's all. Good or bad. That's all we're doing. Drop down in the comments to let me know what you thought about the season, the castmates, the information I just told you about, things that were said and done on the show. Let me know. And you know what you got to do. Like the video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Come on, y'all. I'm trying to get up to 1,500. I'm appreciative. I'm grateful. But let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Make sure your notification bell is on, ding dong, so that you know each and every time I post my content. And I want to give a special shout out to a super subscriber, Shalonda Anderson, 2902. Child, that girl been riding with these recaps for Atlanta. And I've been loving it. So I can't wait to hear from her because she'll come on later on tomorrow and she gonna just put it all out there, okay? So special shout out to you. I thank you. I'm so grateful to you. I hope you stick around. There's some other shows you may like. I hope you stick around and keep like, subscribe, share, and keep commenting, girl. Okay, so let's get into it. Porsha and Shamea, they continue on going back and forth, forth and back again about their mothers. Now, their mothers were best friends back in the day, and they both were in the daycare, child care industry. So the word is Porsha's mother's business went into foreclosure. Oh, Diane. And so Shamea's mother, what's her name? Start with an S. Was it Sharon? Child, they said Shamea's mother bought it right up under her nose, honey. Got it right away. Child, and did it all behind her back. And the way they found out, Porsha and Diane drove by to see the house. Child, when they pulled up, they were taking Diane's sign down and they were putting Shamea's mother's sign up. Wow. You talk about a stab in the back. But business goes on. But Shamea says they weren't even talking then. Like some other stuff had happened and they had been fell out. So Andy asked for his nosy self, well, what happened? And Shamea was like, child, the mother thing is too deep to get into. That is for another day. You're going to have to give our parents peaches for that to come out because I can't spray their business. So Andy's like, okay, we won't get into that then. And so there's Cynthia tells Shamea that Britt is the one that told them that she was showing the text messages from Porsha. And Cynthia is like, you and Porsha's, y'all drama goes way back before these text messages, before this show started. Y'all stuff goes deep. But no, 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 no. Porsha says her and Shamea had a beautiful relationship, friendship, before the show aired. Before they got to filming, they were fine. Once they started filming, Shamea took it to the left. Shamea, why did you do that? And you know what, besties? No one has said this, but do y'all think Candy has something to do with the way Shamea was acting this season? What do you guys think? Do you think Candy put a battery in Shamea's back? We never did think of that. Huh. So Shamea apologizes for talking about her problems with Porsha to the ladies. Okay. Did she apologize to Porsha? I can't remember. Shamea tells the ladies that they felt her friendship with Porsha was lopsided, and they blamed, her on how they really felt about Porsha. So she trying to say, like, y'all trying to throw strays at me, but y'all talking about how y'all feel about Porsha. Don't put that on me. I said some things, but y'all added to it. Shamea throwing everybody under the bus. If you're going to throw me under, y'all coming with me. Toot, toot, beep, beep. Crash. Drew said that they were a safe space for Shamea and she could vent to them. And Shamea made them pinky swear not to repeat anything. Porsha tells how their other friendship group, is very private and how, they were also saying that Porsha didn't want Shamea to have a peach. And so, it's like, Shamea, you just talking. And so Andy confirms, because Porsha was like, Andy did not want Shamea to be a full-time housewife. He was like, yep, you've been wanting, yep, ever since, yep, you have been, yep, you, this is what you always wanted this for her, yep. You did, in fact, want her to be a full-time housewife on Atlanta. Yes, you wanted her to have a whole basket of peaches. So Porsha and Shamea going back and forth and back again about Shamea going on interviews. Why do these castmates of every franchise of every city, why do they get to rambling and talking when they go on interviews? This is something new for the housewives. Why? Well, we in a whole new, things going on now. You got all these bloggers and YouTubers and content creators, and we are important too, okay? So Shamea been on all these interviews, talking about her and Porsha's friendship, how it's changed. Porsha, how Porsha wasn't there for her engagement. Porsha sabotaging her marriage and screwing Candy and Todd. Wait, what? wait, say that, run that back, huh? What's happening now? Porsha admitted that they both have kissed Candy in the club. And honey, Kelly clocked that tea. She said, did they just say they both kissed Candy? They're like, yep, that's what they said. Porsha's like, that was so 10 years ago. Porsha says she has never despaired her friendship with Shamea. Kelly tells Shamea that this is her moment to tell Porsha how she really feels. Porsha, like, this ain't her moment. She had her moment. The moment has passed. It ain't here. It ain't now. It's too late. Child. Porsha said, when they had they one-on-one, when they was down there to the restaurant, that's when she had her moment. That was when she should have been talking. Shamea said after that talk, she thought they were good. So when Londi passed, Shamea would reach out to Porsha often to try to get her to go out and hang out and be there for her, and so she got no response from Porsha. Porsha was like, yeah, because I was grieving. And I'm like, there is a different type of grieving, I'm guessing, for me. I can grieve and not respond to a certain group of friends or people, but your best friend, I just can't imagine you not wanting to talk to your best friend. I cannot imagine you, not letting her be there for you. Yeah, something in the milk ain't clean. What y'all think, besties? So, pretty much, Porsha feels like Shamea is always trying to sabotage her. Every time you talk, you just talking so bad about me. And it's just like, I don't talk bad about you. So Porsha is over it, okay? Cynthia says, don't throw this friendship away. Take baby steps towards one another. You still love each other. And it takes time. Sometimes you got to air things out. But I'll say this, when I leave, I'm gone. I'm not rehashing, refurbishing, rebuilding. It's just not for me. Sometimes it works, but it's very rare that it works and it works, right? Most of the times, I've tried to make it work twice, 3 times, and it just failed again. There's a weird science to this because people be people, and honey. And I'm going to tell you, it's so many people in the world. Don't be stressing with one raggedy one. It's over and done. And most of why it's over for me is because you're not going to get that loyalty that you once had, that person you knew. You're not going to get her anymore. You're going to get a version of me. And I don't feel like doing that, right? I want to be 100. You know what I'm saying? I want to be all or nothing. I want to give everybody everything. So if I can't be everything to you, I'm good because I ain't got it to do. You go play with somebody else. Okay, back to the show. Commercial break over. So Andy asked, well, what can help to bring y'all back? And I like what Porsha said. She said, well, I'm not comfortable with Shamea's friendship. And I get what she is saying. When the energy ain't right, I'm not going to sit up in this bad energy and trying to force stuff. And, I got to worry if I trust you. See, one thing about friendship is you have to have trust. You have to trust the person, it's just, moving on. I don't want to keep talking about that. There's other stuff to talk about. So I digress. So Porsha says she's not comfortable with the friendship of Shamea Morton. She said this year has been tough and she is depleted. And Phage is over there co-signing. Yep, depleted. Shamea says she found bandwidth to put up with Porsha's mess when she didn't have it. So how dare you not have it? And Shamea says her loyalty runs deep with Porsha, and that's why people call her Porsha's lapdog. Child. But she's hurt. She's hurt that Porsha thinks. Shamea's hurt that Porsha thinks that she came onto the show to sabotage her. Well, Shamea, yeah. Hi, girl. You came onto the show. We were all excited because you had all the bells, all the whistles. We was just happy. You was the fun girl. You was one of the cool kids, and you just flipped the script. Okay, we'll move on. Andy gives Shamea some advice. Okay, she says, what you need to do is start speaking your mind. Don't laugh it off like you've been doing. And so Shamea was like, no more coping. Yeah, no, because you see what has happened when you cope. You see how that turned out. You're on this stage with your best friend and y'all then fell out on national TV. So on to Drew now. Drew thought she was living the normal life upstairs with her kids, but her mother, looking at it from her bird's eye view, told her, "Nah, girl, ain't nothing about this healthy. Go to therapy." So she feels better now that the kids are in therapy. Ralph, they talked about when Ralph was tweeting about her mother after her father passed away. Remember, Ralph said that Drew's mom spent all of her late husband's money, and Ralph had to come bail her out financially. Drew says her dad was a prominent pediatrician in Chicago, and Ralph came against her family's legacy. So disrespectful. Her mom had anxiety attacks behind their marriage falling apart, and the marriage has affected the whole family, plus her mother. Her mother was always at the house, always came to visit. So Drew and Ralph did a cooking video, and she says, they're trying to co-parent, very healthy and all that, but he lied and said she called him daddy and trying to make it seem like they're trying to get back together. But she said that is not true. Drew, where is the paperwork? Are they divorced? Child, because y'all know this is supposed to be a storyline, right? So they said, child, Ralph was trying to come upstairs and stay, honey, or either Drew was trying to go downstairs. Drew says she can't go down there because he got cameras down there. And somebody said, well, that's even better. Like filming on camera. Who said that was even better? It was Kelly or Shamea. So she said he can cook real good too. She love his cooking, honey. And so then Angela's like, yeah, girl, you better eat. If you got a man that know how to cook, you better eat. So Ralph, I've discovered today, y'all, Ralph has a song called Wish You Well. I pulled it up, I listened to it. It was auto-tuny, a little too much. I was like, it almost could be a hit. I don't know if Dennis produced it or RL or Black. I don't know. But I didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't like it. So it was very, comme ci, comme ça. That means so in French. So a viewer says Drew's court order seemed weird. And Porsha said, no, that's normal, honey. It's called the stay in Georgia. She said she had to stay upstairs away from Simon in the beginning when they filed. Child, they said Ralph had a woman downstairs in the basement, honey. Drew explains that they live in a gated community, and when you come in, you have to show your ID. So when that happens, you get an alert that someone's coming to see your address or whatever. So she saw the girl's name and went on her Instagram page. So one day she was at the kid's school and a girl was there mean mugging her, came over to her, wanted to ask her what her name was. And I was like, I hope she said, my name is Mrs. Ralph Pittman Jr. And you? And you are? And why are you asking? You know who I am. That's why you're coming up to me to ask me who I am, baby. You know who I am. Child, you know me. I've been on the Housewives for the last 4 seasons, honey. I played in the game, honey. You know I'm an actress. I stay in a Tubi movie, honey. Lifetime. Music. Don't play with me. So a viewer asks, why no one shows compassion for Drew, being that she's going through a divorce, but y'all do it, y'all show the compassion for only Porsha. Kelly apologizes and brings up Drew, how she be lying. So Kelly had admitted that she mad at Drew for lying about that Balmain purchase. Oh, so Drew has to defend herself once again. Last week it was about that ugly Judith Lieber purse. that cost $6,000. Drew says, remember, they didn't have her son's size in that blazer she wanted. It was $2,000. She said, remember, I talked to the rep. She showed them the text messages that she was talking with the rep to get the size. She purchased the blazer later. But what ended up happening is the money, the purchase didn't go towards the charity. And I'm like, why not? And so Drew said, if I could have, I don't know, it just seemed like that should have went to the charity automatically. Like, why would that not go there? But you know what? Rules are rules. It is Kelly gonna say, well, Porsha ended up spending her attorney money. And I laughed so hard, y'all, because I remember that part on that episode where Porsha said, well, her child, I can't spend no money because all my money going to attorney fees. I remember that. So Andy asked about her being Michael Jordan's cousin. Because you know, you be lying, Drew Jordan. Jordan. Drew Jordan says, it's a joke, y'all. Y'all gotta laugh some and just ha ha ha, key. It's a joke. And somebody said, girl, you wasn't playing. You was trying, you wasn't joking when you said it. Okay, so then they discuss Drew's infamous comment about her music will pay for PJ's college fund. And so the comment went over well more with others than not. So anyway, Porsha said she wasn't mad when Drew said it on camera, when she saw it on the show, when Drew said it. But what made her mad is when Shamea brought it back to her because Shamea put extra on it. But Shamea said, you know, she should just mind her business from now on and shut it up. I was like, wow. Shamea said, ooh, y'all. And I believe everybody is coming back. Yeah, I believe everybody on the set on stage is coming back. So Shamia said, you know, I'm just gonna mind my business and shut it on up. That's what I'm gonna do. And Drew said, and they all like, yeah, that's what you should do. Drew said, she says, when Drew said it, she was being shady and she meant to be shady. Don't play. And Drew, of course, nah, but Drew agrees that she should mind her business. So the question was asked, how did Drew feel when Porsha and Shamea went to dinner with Ralph? You know, so Drew explains that she cried out to Porsha at her birthday party when Ralph left her. So it's like, Porsha, you knew what I was going through. Porsha said she thought she was lying. She said, girl, I can't keep up with you and Ralph because, honey, y'all be in cahoots with each other and causing all this drama. I said, and Porsha was telling the truth. No lies told, honey, because Drew, we can't keep up with you. And so Shamea, they said you were acting like Porsha's lapdog when you invited her to the dinner with Ralph. Child, Shamea said they've been calling me a lapdog all season. So guess what? I'm gonna act like one. So Andrew's like, nah, I don't like that. Stop calling yourself that. And they was like, well, you could be Drew's lapdog. And Andrew said, no, I'm too big to sit on anyone's lap. Angela said, no. I am 6 feet tall. I ain't sitting on none of these broad slabs. Okay? Only Charles, honey. So then they get to it, honey. They get to the scoopity scoop. Drew, is Ty the reason for your divorce? They said, honey, you've been on that telephone real hard with Ty. 3,000 minutes a month. And flirty text messages. Drew loves to downplay it. I like how she be like, we're friends. We're friends. Well, who's black? Are y'all dating? He's my friend. Andy gonna say, well, y'all were FaceTiming backstage, right? He has a business. And matter of fact, I need to pass his product out to you guys. And someone said, well, yeah, this is like you dating because you sitting here supporting him. He's my friend. And you take it home. Share with your husbands, your kids, or your pets. And then here goes the big question. What about the hot dog man? And I love it. I love it. Ciao. Drew said, Dennis is not my type. Oh, then here go Porsha defending her baby daddy. Well, black ain't all that. What you say? Black ain't physically, he ain't all that. And Drew was like, well, if you look at Ralph's physique, that's what I like. Drew said if she had a boyfriend, she would bring him on the show. Here go Porsha. Or a girlfriend, girl. We ain't tripping. Bring the girlfriend on. Drew said, well, I heard you was flirting with Ty too. So you can bring Ty. And Portia gonna say, yeah, I'll have Ty 2.0 right here behind me and Dennis. I said, oh, mm-mm-mm. Drew said she saw Portia out in Buckhead on a date. Portia's like, you saw me where? On a date with who? An African? Oh, yeah, that was me, because you know I love my Africans. So the men joined the stage, and this is what we have been waiting for, honey. Everybody except for Gerald. And where was Phaedra's boo? Oh, where was he at? Was he? No, they didn't make it to the reunion of Married to Medicine, huh? Why he didn't come? Well, he wouldn't have added anything to the show, but it would have been nice to have him back there, huh? Anyway, where Gerald? He's at home with the kids. He couldn't find a babysitter. This ain't his thing. He sent me yellow roses. For you? Duh, Andy. Who else he gonna send yellow roses to? So, honey, they get on Dennis. Did you talk to Porsha about working with Drew? We had a small conversation, but I went to Ralph first because you know Ralph is my guy. That's like my brother. That's my friend in real life. And you know, I thought Drew would handle the woman's side of things. Porsha kept questioning Dennis. Oh, did you ask me? Are you sure you asked me? Did you talk to me? You brought it up? Did you call me and say something? I don't remember. Did you bring it up? He was like, we talked a little bit about it, but I thought Drew would talk to you considering we're all friends. And I liked that response. I liked it a lot. Oh, I'm getting hot. Hold on, y'all. I need some water. Whew. Drew threw Dennis under the bus. You said y'all talked about it and it was cool. He just sat there and Portia said he didn't. Dennis just sits there, he being very quiet. Dennis says he did not tell Portia that Drew wanted to sleep with him. Portia says the text said you was just trying to get money, not the honey. Dennis says Ralph is his friend in real life, and then he gets to deflecting. Child, Portia keeps questioning him. Ralph said he saw the text and it was weird. And Ralph also said Drew told him that Dennis was trying to holler at her. Drew said, never. Don't come on this stage lying with your white suit on, with your Beijing in your hair, getting a haircut, trying to look out. What, Drew? Ralph dyes his hair? Why did you put him on blast and you sitting there with some horse hair on your head? Child, he should have said, at least this is my hair. Huh. And so he gonna say, so much energy. She said, yeah, because you're gonna get all this smoke. Tuh. The tuh took me out, y'all. So Andy asked Dennis, will you get back with Portia? And he like, you know, I love her. And she's on the market, so you never know what may happen. So Andy asked him what's his reaction to Porsha and Shamea's friendship. He like, you know, we family. You know, me, Gerald, you know, we all family. You know, it's sad to see, but I'm old enough to know that I'm staying out of women's business because, you know, they could be cool tomorrow. And Shamea was looking like, not tomorrow. Not tomorrow's tomorrow. Maybe some other tomorrow, but not tomorrow. Okay? So, Dennis, you dated Britt and bought her a diamond necklace, and you was in Kelly's DMs once. Here go Dennis. Kelly only telling y'all half the story. And Britt, that was way before Porsha. Like way, way, way back in the day. Kelly like, what? What you mean? What you talking about? What? Dennis is like, I'm a gentleman. I'm not finna sit here and tell our business. Kelly says, man, you slid in my DMs. And I was like, what do you want? And you was like, you going to be outside. And I said, no, I'm inside. And Porsha said, oh, he was trying to get inside. So Kelly said, yeah, we talked once or twice. And then everybody's telling her, wait a minute, you lied. You said y'all never talked. I mean, it's just been once or twice. And so they agreed that it was just on business and that was it. Okay, let's put a pin in that. Ralph, who been in the basement, bruh? Ralph said, oh, that's not true. It was on some fitness stuff. She came through the gates, but she didn't come in the house. I came outside the house and gave her something, he said, deflecting. Then he tell Drew, now catch this T. This how you can kind of tell that they are lying. He was like, Drew, she act different when the cameras are off. She act like she love me when the camera's off. Oh, but when them cameras are on, it gets crazy. And he said, babe, he said, I love you. I just want to raise our kids. We got some beautiful kids, and I thank you for my kids. And, he just loves this for both of them, and she loves this for them too. And so she tells him that she wants his actions to act like his words. So Andy asked him, has he apologized to her mom? And he was like, no, but I will. Thinking back, I was reading some old text messages and I missed that. I want that old thing back. That's my mom. Yeah, I need to get that back. Exactly, because y'all faking and lying. So, Mr. Charles Oakley, Andy said he could not fathom in a million years that the enforcer would be on his couch. So he asked Charles, did you watch the show? Charles said, I've seen some of the shows. He thinks Angela did good. He said she cried a little bit. And I told her if she jump in the pool, you got to know how to swim. Charles, they say, you don't love Angela. She got to question your love and loyalty to her. You be just leaving her looking stuck. Charles is like, I ain't putting on for these cameras. I ain't finna be all over here, all on Angela on TV. She knows I love her and the kids. I'm her husband. I got her back through thick or thin. I told y'all that Charles loved his wife. I told y'all he is not finna do nothing in front of these cameras. I told y'all. And everybody who thought differently, send me $1. I could be rich. I know a lot of y'all is like, nah, he don't like her. So Andy asks, are you hiding Angela? He gonna hide that Amazon. Angela is as tall as he is. He can't hide her. He said, people don't know you're married. And I love Charles. He said, and I don't know who's married either. I love it. Oh, oh. He was like, people say this and they say that. He said, but they don't know me and I don't know nobody. I just know Angela. Leave me alone. Okay, so he says he met Shamea on the show. I know Shamea from the show. Shamea said, well, wait a minute. No, I met you at Dominique's wedding. And if y'all don't know who Dominique is, they talking about, child, did I just forget his last name? Dominique Wilkins. Child, old basketball player from the 80s, maybe the 90s. Ooh, he was so foreign. And it looked like he married a white girl. Okay, Dominique Wilkins. I wonder what he looked like now. Okay. Oh, stay focused. Some people got to go to work in the morning. Okay. So Shamea said, wait a minute, I met you at the wedding. She called him Neek. I met you at Neek's wedding. And he was like, so Shamea says, I met you several times. No. See, no, I was there. That's not meeting me because I was there. You didn't meet me. Quit lying on me. All I know is Angela. I don't know none of y'all. Sheree ain't here. So production shows a picture of Charles and Gerald at the wedding. Oh, I don't remember that. Oh goodness, you guys! I just thought about Brit. How I'm not gonna be able to change her way she talks anymore. This will be my last time saying how she speaks. Oh, are you guys gonna miss this? I will. Okay. Am I doing good being Charles though? Oh goodness. So Shamea said she didn't meet Angela ever. And it was good to finally meet her. That's what she said. It wasn't a dig. Angela said, "Oh, it felt like it was a dig." I said, "Now you there you go pumping up because you with your husband and you finna be talking smack to everybody." You see how Angela then she done got a little in her chest. She fighting everybody. She throwing strays and bullets. She ain't taking nobody's mess because her man is behind her now. Arr, the enforcer is here. So Angela feels like it was a dig. Charles don't remember meeting Phaedra and nobody else. I don't know you. No, Charles, see, so we've been in the same rooms a few times. I met you a few times, down there. Where at? I mean, been in a lot of places. You didn't meet me. You don't know me. Maybe we was in the same bathroom. In the same bathroom? Oh no, Charles, I would never know. What? We met because of Sheree. Angela says, "Oh, I knew this was coming up." And so Angela's like, "No, Phaedra, you called me a secret wife, and that's a dig." Phaedra said, "Child," Phaedra backtracking, "I never said nothing about like him having an affair or that secret baby that Kelly and Britt keep talking about. I didn't say nothing because I wouldn't even hear it in, right?" And she said, "Come on now. I said that one thing, secret wife. And what I was saying is you were a secret, like the unknown." Phaedra, we all know what secret means. Come on, Angela, this is Housewives. Yeah, and you ate me up, Phaedra. I didn't eat you up. And so Charles was like, why is it a conversation about me anyway? I'm the only husband here. Where's your husbands at? Shamea like, mine's at home. Porsha said, "I don't know. He in an undisclosed location." Andy found that to be funny. He had his little 2 cents to say. And so Andy asked Charles, "Well, when did you date Sheree? Our boo Sheree." He was like, "Oh, back in 2005, 6, or 7. I'm like, "No, wait a minute." We was going places and doing things. We was on the move and on the go. Airport, train, subway, submarine, car, go-kart, ATV. We was on it. We even went to Dubai. And here go answer. And I didn't have no problem with Sheree. She had no problem letting go of Charles. She don't want him and he don't want her. Kudos to Sheree. I'm like, is she asking Sheree to come back and take Kenya's place? Okay, back to Kenya. I'm catching the vapors. That would have been so cool to see her. Is she gonna come on season 18 then? Will she have to just come back after this lawsuit is finished? Is the lawsuit even filed? Like, we ain't heard nothing about it. What's going on? What's happening? I'm sure to be settled out of court. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, so Andy says, "So what about this outside baby?" So Charles explained that he went on the Wendy Williams show and they had a cook-off. And so after the show, Angela went to her because Wendy was having a hard time. This is when her ex-husband Kevin had the outside baby on her. She was just spazzing. So they're talking, and what was it that Angela said? Something like, "This not the end of the world, stick in there, it'll be okay," or something like that. And Wendy was like, "Huh? What?" So Wendy assumed that Charles had a baby on Angela because it happened. So Angela said also something like it happened to her or something. But she was talking about her daughter's father, the oldest daughter, her father. So Wendy took it back to her show and turned the whole story around, and that story is still being fabricated. Okay, so then Wendy reached out to him to go have some wine, probably to kind of like say she's sorry or whatever. And Charles said, "I like wine." And they're like, "Would you have went?" He said he would have went to her house, but Wendy got the two cats over there, chit and chat. What's the cat? Chit chat. What? No, chit chats. Anyway, there was two cats, and he's allergic to cats, so he didn't go to her house. So Angela kept asking him, "Well, would you have went on a date with her?" And he was like, "I like wine, so yes, I would have went to drink wine with her." "Would you have went on a date with her, if that's what you want to call it?" Like, would you leave him alone? Girl, stop it. Stop it. So they talk about the Madison Square Garden scene. If you guys don't know, I'm sure you know now that Charles was playing basketball, got into it with the security guard, and he got put out. The owner of the Madison Square Garden officially put him out. Charles can no longer step foot into the Madison Square Garden and whatever else places they own, because they own something else. It's a corporation or whatever. And so it set their marriage back because they had just gotten married. So of course his big ego, basketball player, NBA, he want to be outside because it was embarrassing, right? It was public embarrassment. He outside, and women are outside, and he was outside touching women, with their consent, with their consent. And so they ended up going to therapy. And so Andy asked, "Did the therapy help you?" And he said, "Yes, it helped me stick to my vows and be transparent and accountable and all that." And so he said he's glad Angela stuck beside him. Okay, so they wanted to here's a segment where Andy wanted to ask, he asked the ladies, "Is there anything you want to clear up with these husbands before I let them go?" Kelly asked Ralph, "What did my ex tell you?" Ralph said, "Oh, it was just one interaction with him. It was about y'all's divorce. He was just ranting and raving, and that was it." So Kelly said, "Okay, cool." And then she compliments Ralph for sticking it out and staying there and being there for his kids in their lives, healthy, doing things, because she doesn't have that with her three daughters that she has for her ex-husband. So this is the end. This is the wrap up. So he goes to every housewife and asks them, what did they learn? How do they feel? Did we get it together? So Drew, she's happy that her and Porsha are in a better place. Good space. She's down with that. Very happy that they will respect one another and do well moving forward. Kelly, she will pick her friends better, and she hopes that Porsha and Shamea can rekindle their friendship. Phaedra, she enjoyed her last 2 weeks back on the show. Feels good because she did not do well over there. Married to excuse me, y'all. Married to Medicine. She didn't do well. They kicked her off the show. They didn't like her. She didn't do well. Had nothing to give. No husband. Not married. No medicine. Okay. And she loved Grenada. It was her favorite trip besides South Africa. Angela, she's glad to be here on this platform, and she's so happy she was able to film with her mother and share her mother with the world. And she has that. She can always go back and see her mother. So she's very, very happy about that. Cynthia, Andy complimented her and said she was a very good friend of. She gave good guidance, and she appreciates all the ladies. They respect her. They respect her. She appreciates that. Shamea, she will be more open about her feelings, and she wants to build alliances with all the ladies. And I'm like, no, girl, you want to build friendships, not alliances. Porsha told you that that's not good. Do you want to be off this show or not? Because K Michelle gonna come and shake the table. Y'all remember that? Child, I loved that. She gonna come and shake the table. Porsha said she had a rough season. It was not her best. And she's just grateful to be in her right mind. And I understand that, honey. You are doing good. And she says to Shamea, I hate the way the season went. I love you. I cheer for you. I love everybody on this couch. And they ended the season 16 because Andy wasn't in Nashville for Porsha's party, honey. So they got up. Where them fans at? Where them fans at? Where them fans at? Child, I can't sing. Copyright. So Shamea led the dance, the fan dance. They got to teach it to Andy. Andy getting it going. Porsha telling him he need more hip. He gave more hip. Then he said, "When we gonna start twerking?" So him and Shamea went down to the ground, down to the ground, down to the ground. And that was the end of the episode. Did I cover everything, besties? Oh my God, it was a pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, but I am more than happy, honey. Whoo, to get my Sunday nights back. Y'all just don't know. Oh, wait, one more thing. One more thing, besties. Shamea went live today to apologize to the ladies. And this is what in her video, this is what she said. It was titled, Dear Sweet 16. She says, my elders and my family, hold on, never steered me wrong. So I just want to start by saying to all the ladies on the Sweet 16 cast, starting with Porsha, you know, Drew, Angela, Britt, Kenya, Cynthia, Kelly, I'm sorry. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Even Phaedra coming in at the end, I'm sorry if I've ever offended you, if I made you feel less than, inferior, if I hurt you or caused you pain in any way. I'm sorry. Thank you, and I hope we can start fresh. I wish you nothing but the best, and I hope that prayer finds its way into your heart and your household. Excuse me, besties. That's a wrap on Sweet 16. I am so sorry, but when you're breathing and talking, and things happen like air, gas, burps, need dried tongue, need water. It's something I had no idea. And now that I am a content creator, we be over here struggling, child. But besties, thanks for hanging with me. Make sure you like the video and drop down in the comments section and let me know what you thought. And once again, shout out to all my subscribers, especially, I'm trying to get her name right, especially shout out to Shalonda Anderson, 2902 girl. Thanks for riding the whole Sweet 16 with me. I hope there's some other shows coming up that you like. We got Life After Lockup starting on Friday. Tomorrow is the last of Basketball Wives. We got the Braxtons in October. I got the Real Housewives of Orange County on Thursday. Love and Marriage Huntsville on Saturday. And some hot topics in between time and all the time and sometime and never time and all the time. What am I talking about? I don't know. It's late. Love y'all. See you in the next recap. Bye, bestie.